What's up, guys? My name is Brian Nystrom, and you are listening to the Greenlight Weekend podcast. It is episode 98. Before we get too much into the episode, we're going to do a little business. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to this fucking podcast, that would help us immensely. Also, rating, reviewing, you would be surprised how much that helps. You can do the same thing for our boys over at the Whiskey Reel. Little shout out there. You can also follow us on social media at GLW_podcast on Instagram, Greenlight Weekend on YouTube and Facebook, and greenlightweekend@gmail.com for any questions, comments, concerns, maybe a sponsorship opportunity. We're always looking for that. If you know anybody that's trying to sponsor a podcast, hit us up. Yeah, this week we had a great episode 98. Philly Cheese was in studio, and we had two guests, our boys Evan and Julian. Evan Stambler's been on before. It was Julian's first time, but he did great. He speaks beautiful Spanish, just a beautiful man all around. They just spent 3 weeks in Mexico, did the Baja thing. Evan has a 70s Winnebago that he took us to Dolores in one time for a comedy show. He road tested that bad boy for 3 weeks, drove through Arizona and then down south of the border, did the whole thing. I don't remember the places he went to because I'm an idiot, but I know they ended up in Baja. And they met some bands, maybe did some drugs, maybe just had a good fucking time, made some friends. So if you want to hear about that, this is the fucking episode for it. I know you can find Evan at Ramblin' Stambler on Instagram, Evan Stambler on Facebook. Julian is a little more elusive, Julian Marcus Hood on Facebook. And we will, I'll put all of their social media stuff in the description of the episode. So if you want to find them, just go there. And as always, a big shout out to our boy Ethan Esparza. He makes all the music that we use for this fucking podcast. He is the soundtrack to the Greenlight Weekend. And fun fact, all the ones that are from the Chava people, Evan's drumming on. What? Yeah, so I'm going to use one of those for this episode so you can hear the sweet, sweet sounds of Evan's drumming. And I'm going to wrap this motherfucker up. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode with Evan and Julian.
Flipping through the pages of a notebook, dope hooks, old school shit, get your dome shook, no luck. For you, can you feel what I'm saying? Rhyme slanging, beat banging from the pavement to the backwoods. Put your hands down if you're trying to act hood. I don't care about your steez or how you be swagging. Punks moving backwards.
Oh, hello.
Hola.
Hello.
Oh, hola.
Well, we're talking about Mexico. I thought throw out the only Spanish I know.
I thought you were going to learn Spanish.
I'm working on it.
Yeah?
I know more than hola. It's a good place to start.
Hello.
Better than tacos.
Yeah, tacos.
See, I know that. Yeah.
Quesadilla.
Guadalajara.
See, I didn't know that one. Just kidding. Yeah. This is fun. How you guys doing?
Doing quite well. I got a beer, hanging with my best buds.
Goddamn right. We're drinking ska beer because I'm trying to get ska to sponsor this fucking show.
Euphoria.
Sessions Cerveza. Because
okay.
it's Cerveza style lager.
Mexi
it tastes like
Lager's not
Mexi
out
lager.
Yeah.
And it's way cheaper. And I don't like Bud Light very
enough.
much anymore. I don't know what it is.
Who fucking likes Bud Light?
Nobody.
I like it.
It's like nobody.
No,
It just push through it to get drunk.
It's a predictable amount of drunkenness you get from a Bud Light. It's very affordable. And when you're an alcoholic, those are the kind of things you start looking for in a beer. That's why all my family drinks light beer. Because we're a bunch of booze hounds.
I think my dad just doesn't like the taste of any other beer other than Coors Light.
Yeah.
I'm convinced a lot of people like light beer because they don't like water. Because if you just, drank some water, then you could get something like Euphoria. Get a lot more bang for your buck per like how much you're drinking,
My dad just can't stand the flavor of it. So he
Yeah.
only drinks Coors Light because
I
it's
guess
just
that if
what
it's
he
a
likes.
flavor thing.
And he won't take the time to acquire the taste for it.
Yeah.
And my issue is definitely not bang for buck. My issue is I like to drink a lot. Like,
I'm going to save it.
that's why I don't drink whiskey all that much, because I drink it like I drink beer. I just take a sip when I'm thirsty, and before you know it, I'm fucking hammered,
So is this why you drink Bud Light or why you
Mhm.
don't drink?
That's why I drink Bud Light. Yeah, it's very predictable. I know if I have two, I can drive anywhere, and it's affordable. Not to mention, I have a lot of friends like James, who mooches.
I've drank a lot of Bud Light. Just
Those
because
drink a lot of Bud Light.
comes
Well,
in.
and
You want a
Brian's
Bud Light?
hooked it up with a lot of Bud Lights. So
Yeah, everybody bitches about it until they want a beer and it's there. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll take a free beer. That sounds awesome. It's a whole fucked up thing.
We did get a ton of cheap Tecate in Mexico.
Oh, I bet.
which
dude,
is
no, we bought the Tecate before we went to Mexico
true.
in Arizona, and it lasted us the whole fucking trip. It was ridiculous.
Because I wasn't
What's the most common beer actually in Mexico? Is it Tecate?
Tecate.
Modelo?
Yeah, they
Tecate
sponswer
Light.
everything. Yeah, and people don't drink the regular Tecate. Tecate Light is awful, by the way.
Yeah,
Sounds
Tecate
pretty
Light
bad.
seems Tecate's light enough
Yeah.
for sure. And I usually drink Tecate when it's like Tecate Tuesday, $2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It just reminds me of gazpachos
Taco
and
Tuesday.
fucking bubble guts.
Do you remember those Taco Tuesday days?
I went to a few of them, yeah.
Those were crazy, dude. We had some
Get
huge
pretty
ones.
wild.
And I feel like the waiters always made out pretty good. Everybody left them $3-4.
Yeah.
Fucking fat ass tip.
Almost fought Russell.
Phil almost fought. Everybody's almost fought Russell though.
It's a town-wide.
That was the first time I
Saying.
met him.
You can make a
It was
T-shirt that
like-
says "I almost fought Russell."
It was a bad impression right away.
He does that. Kind of like Drew. Drew also made a poor first impression on Phil, but that's okay.
It was just his Facebook presence.
Mm.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was just his face.
It was just his face. There's something about his face. I just wanted to punch it.
Most people feel that way about him. That's why he's not a very good comic, because nobody likes him. No? Okay. Did you see our art that Evan made us?
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, he made it and then he gave it to me because
Shiva.
he felt like he had to give me something from Mexico. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, I gave you a bottle of wine too.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Fuck yeah.
Did you drink that?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we drank it all. I definitely had like a glass, and I know my girlfriend had a
Hey,
glass. I don't know
Go sit on the
Nice.
couch.
if she drank it all.
Your dog just licked the
Your-
microphone.
Your dog is interrupting
I
this
can hear
wonderful
the dog,
podcast.
too.
Yeah, she does that.
I brought some cherry diesel for the weed of the week
Ooh, weed of the week.
from Prohibition Herb because we haven't done anything from there yet.
You still smoke weed, Julian?
I don't.
No?
Not when I'm on a podcast. Get a little nervous. You're like, man, I sound dumb right now.
Because you're high?
Shiva wants
Yeah.
to say
Hmm,
something.
I feel like I sound dumb all the time.
What's that,
Just push her
Shiva?
down,
What's
goddammit.
that? Tell us your thoughts. Oh, okay, never mind.
You're horrible, Shiva.
Go on.
Well, everybody pets her too, so she gets
know.
rewarded for it.
Oh, okay, licks.
So you guys went to Mexico.
We went to Mexico.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
So I drove through Arizona for a week, saw a lot of good friends, went on some really good hikes in Sedona, which was awesome.
Nice.
Beautiful place. It's pretty crazy out there.
I've heard.
Reminds me a lot of Utah, Moab, and
Mm.
that kind of scene. But yeah, we ended up meeting up in Phoenix and drove down to Tucson for the Jim and Jam Music Festival,
Right.
which was
Mhm.
a hoot.
Hoot and a half.
Yeah, had a little too much fun.
Hoot
Just
man.
barely too much fun. Julian, I think, was a little more even keel than Evan over here.
I
So
never-
describe too much fun.
Doing cocaine on the last night of the festival was not a good call.
No.
I almost made it. I almost made it the whole festival, and then the last night I just made bad calls and felt like shit the next day. It was bad.
made
That's why I haven't done cocaine in a
made
long
the right
time.
friend and the wrong call. Kind of
You
thing.
know, I didn't even make any calls. It's just offered up, and me being a yes man
That's how it happens.
said okay.
I was
Yeah.
also offered cocaine, but I did not.
See, Julian made the
cocaine.
right call.
Who drove the next day?
I did.
Yeah. Did you
Well,
drive
so the
RV at all?
next
Yeah.
day was pretty wild. It was super fucking windy. I was hungover as hell, and I was like, Julian, can we stay in Tucson for a day? This would be like a recovery day. And he's like, all right, fuck it. We needed to gather up some supplies before we crossed the border anyway.
Always
So
a good call.
so we hung out in Tucson, and then we were drinking in this brewery at, we parked the Winnebago in the middle of Tucson,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, let's just
No,
go
that's
get a
kind of
beer.
funny though. We
Yeah.
paid for two parking spots back to back on a meter.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we're just going to park here overnight. And it expired at 3 a.m. So it was 8 a.m. And we're like, we'll get a beer.
8 p.m.
And it was 8 p.m. It was 8 p.m. We were like, we're going to get a beer. We're going to wake up at 3 a.m. And we're just going to go to Organ Pipe. Which is where we were planning on going.
Yeah, we were planning on making one last stop on the way to Mexico.
Organ Pipe?
Pipe National Monument. It's super fucking gorgeous.
I don't know if I'm aware of that one.
It's awesome.
It's fucking cool. Yeah, it's a type of cactus. It grows like all these crazy alien-looking arms, and it only grows in that part of the Sonora Desert. But there's saguaros everywhere too, like the classic cactus that people think of.
That's how you know you're getting close to Phoenix. You start seeing those come down off the mountains. You're like, oh, we're almost there.
Yeah, and out of all the dumb shit that was said on the trip, I was like, hey, do you guys know what kind of cactuses those are? And then they just roasted the shit out of me for a while.
I think you call them sakuras.
Sakuras, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so we went and got beer and met a girl at the bar who's really fun. Vicky, shout out to Vicky.
What?
Nice.
She's in Mexico City right now, so on the interwebs.
Whoa.
But yeah, she's cool world traveler chick, and we hit it off. And she was like, "What are you guys doing after this? And you want to show me your Winnebago?" So we're like, "Fuck yeah!"
Was she hot?
We ended up.
She was a lovely person.
She was
Brian.
beautiful.
Okay.
She's very beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I know.
Yeah, I think we were both very attracted to her for sure.
Ah.
That's just nature.
She definitely liked the Winnebago.
She loved the Winnebago, so we ended up like bringing it over to her parking lot because she said we could stay longer than 3 a.m.
Her parking lot?
Of her apartment.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, "You can park it here. No, I don't think you'll have any issues." So we like got drunk in the Winnebago over there.
Sweet.
And then she took off, and we're getting ready to go to bed, and and Evan over here, I forgot to fucking pull the e-brake. We were on a slight hill. All of a sudden, I look out the fucking window, and I'm like, the tree's moving. No, the Winnebago's moving. And we went right into the side of this fucking Mustang. And
so from my perspective, I'm in bed. I'm like ready to go to sleep. And Evan comes from the back of the Winnebago and just
I ran.
bolts to
I
the
tried
front.
to stop it.
And I'm like, what is going on right now? And then Evan's at the driver's wheel, and he starts backing up the car. He's like, we got to go. I'm like, what?
So I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm so drunk. Like, no cop is going to believe that I was just sitting in my house on wheels drinking. Like, it's going to seem like a DUI situation. So...
Reasonable logic.
So we're like, I'm like, we just got to go. We'll figure out what we're doing on the way. And the first thing that Julian says is like, let's just fucking go to Mexico right now.
We hadn't left the parking lot yet.
It's not the first time that's been said after an accident.
And so we cruise.
You're so close.
We're driving, and I'm like, I just can't like get a DUI, and we're gonna find a place to park. And I want to like check back in and see the damage because I didn't even know what really what happened. Leave a note if we need to, but like get the fuck out of there so we're not at the scene of the crime.
How long did it take you to turn around?
So,
was there an exit on the right?
We passed a cop like right after. It was the first car we saw like pulling out of the fucking place, and then so we went like a half
I think we
mile.
just took the first right.
Yeah,
we circled the block.
Circled around and parked near the apartment complex, and I walk up, and there's a fucking another note already on the car. It says, "We saw what happened. He pulled off so fast we couldn't get his license plate number, but we called the cops already." And so I just take that note and replace it with my nice note. That's like, here's my name and my insurance information. and then I was like, I think we should move the Winnebago a few more blocks, Julian, because we can't park right next to
There's
this
a cop looking for a 70s green and white Winnebago in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess we didn't explain. We were driving a 75, very noticeable box on wheels. So, yeah, that was a wild time.
That was crazy.
That's a hell of a start to a trip. But that's how it usually happens. You meet a
no.
girl that's like, "Oh yeah, trust me."
Oh,
and
dude.
I guess it's on you. You didn't pull the e-brake.
Yeah.
Did they call you?
Well, actually, yeah, the person called me the next day.
Were they cool?
And they were super fucking cool. So
Are we
it
talking
worked
old
out.
Mustang? Like 03?
No. I mean, it was like, it's like a 2010,
Oh,
like,
so
the
the new
newer
body
model.
it
style.
was like a V6 Mustang, you know.
Right,
It's
nobody
like,
gives a fuck
it's like
about those.
all show, no
Barely
go.
even America, yeah.
I mean, but it was a girl with a very sexy voice, and she was very nice to me on the phone. So
Did
that
you
was
think
cool.
about turning around and meeting her? Or?
No, you don't meet girls by crashing into their cars normally.
That's what they call a meet cute.
Yeah, it's happened. For sure, it's happened.
Never seen a rom-com?
Wrong.
Hey, we were hoping we could just stay at your place now.
Did
We
you?
brought beer.
Love at first sight.
So, did you communicate with the chick that lived there that you went there with at all?
I didn't tell her about what happened.
Yeah, you just
but
fucking bounced.
Yeah, we were supposed to get breakfast with her in the morning, and we fucking rolled out
To
We're like,
Mexico.
this is too much. But I actually have been in touch with her. I'm excited to tell her the story of that night because I still haven't. But
Where was this girl from that you met at the bar?
she lives in Chicago.
So from Chicago and
I don't know
world
where
traveler?
she's from, but
But American?
No, she's got like what
American.
what did she do for work?
Oh, she was like
had some,
Czech, like, you know.
Czech?
She's Polish.
Oh, Polish.
Oh, okay. So
Polish.
that was what I was asking. Yeah,
Eastern
Yeah.
European.
Well,
my favorite.
yeah.
Go on.
Apparently, I have a thing for Polish women. I don't know.
They're hot.
They just like to drink and have fun.
Yeah.
That's like a thing, I guess.
All the Polish women in the UFC are hot. Yeah.
Name a few.
Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I think Joanna's Polish. She's not that hot, to be honest. She's a little scary. She kind of looks like a dude. But she doesn't listen
Sounds
to this.
like
so I don't care.
She doesn't listen to this. She's like, motherfucker!
I love you, yo.
Sounds like most women in the UFC. A little scary to me.
There's a
but
lot of hot ones, dude.
Yeah.
There's
Paige,
a lot.
Paige Van
Paige Van
Zandt's
Zandt's
pretty hot.
Gorgeous.
Rose.
Rose Namajunas, very hot. Even though she has a shaved head, very attractive.
She's almost more hot now.
Who's the Hawaiian chick? I don't know. Very hot.
And
You
they're
asked me to
also
name a few.
Great people.
I was just
and-
gonna roll past this.
And they're very beautiful.
Like the girl you
Great
met. Yeah.
fighters.
I don't think I watch enough women's UFC.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's on the same cards as the men's, so.
Uh,
But yeah,
I definitely would have put money on that.
yeah. You
don't-
seem like you watch a lot of UFC.
You seem like you're really into UFC.
Yeah. Sports.
I don't
No
watch
sports at
any
all?
other sports.
soccer.
Yeah, soccer.
I fuck.
Ever since I was a kid, I was like 8 years old, waking up at 4 a.m. to watch the World Cup.
Really? Were your parents into it?
No,
Were your friends into it?
no.
How'd you get into soccer?
I played on a soccer team. I played on like a Mexican soccer team growing
Oh,
up.
that's how. Your
Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
And they were
didn't-
talking
were
about
not
the World
friends with
Cup.
me, but
Really?
yeah, no, they always forgot because I speak Spanish.
Mm.
So they
So
always,
they'd talk mad shit to you or about you.
yeah, they would do that, and I'd be like,
Did you
"Guys."
reply in Spanish?
Yes,
Yeah.
every week. We played on a team for like 6 years. And, then, and they'd be like, dude, this guy speaks Spanish.
Man,
I'm like,
were you the
"Yeah,
only white kid?
No, there's like 2 other white kids.
Did they like them?
No, I don't know.
Did the other white kids like you?
Yeah.
Did you have friends? Okay.
I wasn't super
I'm just
lonely.
worried about young Julian playing soccer. Everybody's talking shit to him because they don't think he understands them.
Right. I got really good that way.
At Spanish or at
well,
soccer?
at soccer.
Is-
Yeah.
How so?
Playing on a team with a bunch of Mexicans.
Oh, for
you know.
sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
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 I'm
I
just
played,
trying to figure out why you watch the World Cup.
I played soccer on the Bloomfield Crunch. My dad was the
Oh,
coach,
Mexican team.
and he had to become coach because the other coach like killed himself or something. I don't remember. But then all of a sudden,
Because all the kids were talking
my
shit about him in Spanish.
redneck dad that knows nothing about soccer became the coach, and we actually did pretty good that year.
Nice.
Bloomfield Crunch had a sweet mullet.
That's
Really?
Corrales.
You or
You
him?
did?
Yeah,
That's
Corrales
cool.
Chili's.
my
That's my team.
my dad said it was a ducktail because I grew up in Blanco, New Mexico, so I was the only white kid out there. Blanco. All the white people say Blanco.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you definitely said where you were.
Mm-hmm. Blanco.
Time
Blanco.
and place.
It's okay.
Yeah. And you talk to any of my family and it's Blanco. It's not Blanco. You don't say Blanco.
It's also yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted a rat tail because all my friends had rat tails because they were all Mexican. And my dad's like, "You're not going to have a rat tail.
Look
And
like
so
some kind of gangster.
You can have a duck tail." And then I didn't know what a mullet was back then, so I thought it was cool, but I just looked like a little white trash kid. That's why I got picked on in Blanco, New Mexico.
Have you thought about bringing back the ducktail?
No.
No.
That's why
I
Dad
think he
calls
would
you
rock
Dirt
it,
instead of Schneider.
Yeah. I'm balding right here, so it would just look so bad.
Dude, you would still
Dude, that
kill
would
us.
kill.
Just
That
always wear a hat.
Yeah.
Fucking sweet ass mullet.
Getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I went for like a little bit of like a mohawk thing, but like with you, it'd just be the no hawk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just do anything. You just grow it out long on the sides.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
With the bozo the clown.
No, you gotta shave the sides. You
I
gotta
think
shave
that'd
the
kill it.
sides, otherwise you're that sad old dude. If you're rocking the mullet with the shaved sides, even if it's bald on top, that's fucking American.
I got a laser hat that's supposed to stimulate the follicles. It's actually making it come back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like,
What kind of lasers? How did the
I
lasers
don't
work?
really know. And I just know they're supposed to, it's FDA approved. So it's not going to give me cancer, right? I hope not.
That's always a good sign.
I have beautiful hair, but I just have this giant tumor right here. That'd be horrible.
That kind of reminds me of the superhero Viagra Man you'd see everywhere in
Oh,
Mexico.
yeah.
Really?
Viagra Man?
Viagra Man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like a statue you see in front of all the pharmacies, and he's like this big. He's like,
He's the shape of a Viagra pill. He's
He's the
like a
shape-
blue pill guy
yeah,
with big, strong arms.
Does he have a
and
cape?
shit.
he's got a cape.
And he's got a bulge, a big bulge.
Makes sense.
I
How
didn't notice the
disappointed
bulge.
would everybody be if it was just like a little tiny bulge?
Yeah, just a little stiff tic tac.
Yeah, because in Mexico you can buy anything over the counter, which is kind of ridiculous. Because you're like walking by a pharmacy and they're like, they come out because they see two young, like hippie looking guys.
Those guys like Xanax.
They're like, yo, what do you need? It's legal here.
We got
It's-
told that a
It's
lot.
fucking legal. They'd like come out and be like, we got you what you need, like what you want. Like, not anything that you guys have.
That's how I feel like when I'm in Vegas walking down the road. Drug dealers just like make beelines for us. Coke, heroin,
Yeah, they'll
weed.
just bump
acid.
up against you.
Yeah. And the first time we were both wearing tie-dye. First time we went to Vegas as adults, so it was,
It happened a lot.
yeah. A lot of people trying to sell us drugs.
I was worried about buying drugs on
As
the
you-
street from
as
some
you
random
should be.
dude.
As you should
It's
always
never been
be.
like a great
I think
experience.
there's like an 80% chance it's not drugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
By the
not
time
the
you
drug you want.
turn around and like, hey, and he's gone. He's disappeared into the crowd.
That's how you end up getting cocaine laced with fucking fentanyl and shit. I feel like buying it
Oof.
off the street.
Yeah, that's why people die of heroin. It's not because of heroin, usually.
Yeah, heroin's awesome.
Or it's
That's Dave-O.
really strong. It's just because it's not regulated and they don't know what they're getting most of the time.
Yeah, because people are buying drugs off the street by
Mhm.
people that approach them. But I think outside of a pharmacy in Mexico, you're probably a little
Hey.
better off.
Yeah.
At least there's a pharmacy around, you know?
Yeah, at least you know
No,
that
it
it's
was weird. It was weird every time because they would start offering you more and more stuff, and they'd be like, "Massage, happy ending, anything."
take
And
a
you just like-
Xanax, a Soma.
There's
Get a
probably
shot
a
of
lot of
tequila.
people that look just like you that are pumped.
Yeah, we got offered a happy ending massage by like a fucking 55-year-old, like decrepit looking guy. We're like,
Dude, I bet
Like
he
sucks.
tugged some dick.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
It's,
I
It
mean,
probably was the best blow or hand job you'd ever
he
had in
was-
your life.
He was referring to there being girls, but I couldn't see any women wanting to hang out with this
It's just
guy,
a glory
so
hole. Go over here,
It's pretty
and then
rough.
I'll go over here,
it's
and the
pretty
girl
rough.
will come.
See any other cars in that parking lot, Junior?
Oh, man.
Well,
So, go ahead.
I was just saying, welcome to the Green Light Weekend.
Yeah. So you guys
Didn't take long.
went to Mexico.
Nice.
Where'd you start off?
Puerto Peñasco. Wow.
Did you guys have a
that's gross.
plan? Did you plan it out?
We kind of did. We
Get on
like
Google
went
Maps.
off. We went off the rails quite a bit on the plan, but
No, we had a plan and then we modified it.
You had
we
a
shortened
blueprint.
it.
Yeah, we had a blueprint and then we're like, yeah, we're not gonna make it as far as we think we're gonna make it.
That means
Yeah.
you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's true.
Trying to spend
Yeah.
less time on the road, more wherever you were.
You know, that was the thing. It was like we were driving to a city, spending a day there, or a town. Most of them were towns, and then just driving again. And then eventually we were like, we want to spend like some time in a place that seems cool,
Totally.
instead of just like, barely touching the surface. So we spent most of the time in this city called Ensenada,
Ensenada.
which is actually really close to San Diego. It's an hour south of Tijuana, so it's
Right.
like a little over 2 hours, I think, from San Diego, depending on the border crossing situation.
Yeah.
But it was cool over there. Super cool.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do? What'd you spend your time doing?
Surfing,
drugs?
hang tens. No, we didn't surf at all.
No surfing. Okay.
No surfing.
We did a little bit of everything. I mean, we met this really cool older artist gentleman, Adalberto Mayon, and he we were just walking by his shop, and he had all this art hanging, and it was like a printmaking shop, and so that's how I ended up making that print up there.
Nice.
Because we walked in and he was like, "What are you guys about?" And Julian here runs a screen printing business, so I think you started talking to him right away, and he almost immediately was like, "What are you doing tomorrow? You want to come in for a printmaking workshop?"
Cool.
And we were like, "Hell yeah, we ain't got shit going on. This sounds fucking awesome." So,
Yeah, we were on acid too.
oh yeah, that I forgot about that. We had just spent the morning looking at whales and dolphins on acid. So what a good day.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
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 We had plans to get on a boat that day and go look at whales. And when we get on the boat, Evan's just like, "Dude, you want to take some acid?" I was like, "You got acid?" And he's like, "Yeah." I guess if you ask somebody if they want to take acid, of course you have acid.
You got a carpe the diem.
Yeah,
It's rare I've turned down any drugs that are offered to me.
I
To
mean,
be honest.
when you're in a foreign country about to go see some ballenas, some whales, and some dolphins, it was fucking just a good time.
And you saw whales and dolphins?
We did.
I feel like you're being
Sweet.
very secretive about your stories.
I mean, they're just like so
we
intersecting.
just went
There's so
backwards with
many.
that one.
Yeah, but we spent the morning just like kind of wandering around the dock, and we were like, we're gonna find the right trip to go on. And
Was there a bunch?
There's like whale watching tours on these bigger boats, and we were kind of trying to avoid like sitting next to a bunch of other
Like
tourists.
a ferry type boat? Like how big?
Kind of like like
a small
20
ferry?
to 40 people on
Oh, okay.
those. But like tour boats, so there's
Right.
like they got the intercom, and it's it's not personal.
It's like a bus on the water.
Yeah. So we were
Like a tour
like
bus.
we were
Yeah.
looking just for like some dude with a boat, and we pretty much found it. Like, thankfully, Julian speaks Spanish very well, so he was kind of throwing the word out there to some older guys on the dock, and one of the dudes was like, "Oh, come with me," and he brought us to like this younger guy that had a boat, and he's like, "It's low to the water, so it's cheaper," and we're like, "That's fucking awesome."
For sure.
So what kind of boat did you end up on?
It was like a little skimmer boat, and there's like two other dudes and us.
Was it
And,
just rear engine control?
yeah,
No steering
yeah.
wheel?
Was it like a raft?
No,
Did it have
no,
walls?
there was a steering wheel. I forgot.
Okay.
But I mean, it was pretty small. Yeah, a raft with walls.
Less than
And we went out on
5
like
people could be in it.
we went out on like open ocean, so it's like
Sick.
we're like fucking hitting waves in this little.
Did you ever
ass
catch air?
boat.
I bet.
Was it sick?
Fuck
It was
yeah!
not
Were you
sick.
scared? Were you on acid?
We were on acid.
I was enjoying the shit
I
out
was
of
riding
it.
waves that entire day.
Yeah, Julian got a little stomach sick after that, a little seasick.
Yeah, man. Getting on a boat and choppy water on LSD will make
I've
you.
done lots of acid on. I grew up on
But it
a
was
lake.
Oh, was it
But
choppy
it gets
water?
Oh, yeah.
choppy when it's storming.
Yeah,
Where my houseboat was just, going up 6 feet and then coming back down.
you're on a
like-
you lived in the boat.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit.
And so it would yeah,
You
it was
get
pretty
used
gnarly.
to it when you're living in it. But we're
Right.
landlocked motherfuckers. So, but I don't know. I was riding the waves. I felt all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Julian, you weren't feeling so hot by the end of it.
It was
for
actually pretty
sure.
easy to walk down the marina when you're drunk because it like balanced out.
It really did.
It was just like I'm walking fine. It was weird. And I would spend like a week out there and then come home and get in the shower, and then I felt like I was on a boat just when it was still because my equilibrium was constantly
Yeah.
moving.
Isn't that weird?
And I would sit in the shower and just be like, whoa, I feel like I was on a boat. It was crazy.
Just shows how adaptive the human body is.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
fucking just whatever happens, you will adapt. Like mentally, you might struggle, but physically, if you can keep your mind right.
I don't think I adapted that
Well,
one.
it was a morning. Yeah. How long were you guys on the boat?
Like 3 hours.
Yeah.
3
How
hours?
many whales and stuff did you see? How far did you go from land?
So there's like a little island, just like with a light tower, and then people actually go on boats out there to go surf because the waves are like
Is this
huge.
the
out there.
west coast, the west side of Mexico?
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
Pacific. So, yeah, it's like 2 hours south of San Diego, just the
Okay.
same
Yeah, yeah.
coastline. But yeah, the island, I guess people take people out there to surf, like pro surfers, because there's always like 10, 15-foot waves on the island.
Because it's further out in the ocean, but there's still
Yeah.
land, so it creates a break.
Yeah, there's a sick surf break, I guess, but
Yeah. Makes
the
sense.
whales also hang out there. We were at the tail end of the whale watching season, I think, but like I forget the exact time frame, but it's like the beginning to middle of winter. There's always whales over there.
Wow.
But
it's
yeah, we
warmer.
saw, I don't know, like 3 or 4 whales.
I think
what kind of
probably more
whales?
than that.
Probably more than that. So the dude said they were blue whales, and I
Okay.
still haven't like done my research to see if that's like
So they're fucking huge.
yeah, so that's why I was like, I don't know if it's actually blue whales. Like, I think maybe he had that wrong, but because blue whales are like the biggest
Yeah,
ones,
they're
and they
gigantic.
didn't seem that. I don't know. They're fucking big.
Yeah.
Whales are huge.
Like how much bigger than the boat?
We were probably like 100 feet from them every time we saw them, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Okay. So
like,
maybe
the
just the distance made
The
them
tail
look
of
smaller.
the tail of
Yeah.
the whale is like probably about the size of the boat. Like when we saw them
Yeah.
pop up.
We would
So
see
they
the
were
tails
big.
flopping up and going.
Yeah.
Did you see any dolphins?
And then the dolphins were diving by the boat at one point when we were.
I hear they like
Dolphins are cool.
to roll.
Dude, they were cruising with us for a second.
They were cool.
That was the first time I've seen dolphins.
Yeah,
in-
and you
in the
guys were
wild.
on acid. How much acid are we talking?
A micro, like
Not
I
Like
don't
half
know.
a hit? Less?
It's really strong shit. So like probably a quarter of a hit each, but it would be like a weak hit.
Just like on blotter?
Yeah.
Just blotter. Nice. That seems the easiest to smuggle in and out of a country.
Allegedly.
I mean, honestly, acid, like you can't contain that shit. That's why it's so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna like inspect every page of my Bible?
Yeah.
Like,
And
Did you take a Bible?
no.
That's where we keep our acid.
I feel like if I was Mexican Border Patrol, I would look at the Bible first.
for sure.
Speaking of border control, dude, every time we'd get a checkpoint, the people would come into the Winnebago and they would search it for like 10 minutes. But they wouldn't even be searching. They'd just be like checking things out, be like, oh, these cabinets, they work. Oh,
They
this
were, like,
fridge, it
just
works,
stoked
huh?"
on it.
They
Yeah.
were
Just
stoked on the
it.
Winnebago for sure.
They never pushed you for any kind of bribe or anything?
They always ask for cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one. But
Did you
we
think
didn't
about
have
buying
any.
a pack of cigarettes just to get out of the search?
in the situation? But like we didn't really have anything to hide, so we're just kind of like waiting for the search to be over with.
You could never know that they would want cigarettes as a bribe.
Well, I'm saying after the first one.
Mm.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
how
I
many
mean,
times did this happen?
They'd all look at the one Cuban cigar that I bought when I was down there, and then be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna take these guys like one cigar," So that I noticed them like eyeing that a few times.
Do you think it's just because you guys are really nice? Like, Julian puts off a very nice soccer fan type aura.
You know, they thought that we were stoners. Like what the Mexican
I totally understand that.
neither of us smokes weed, but like what they're looking for is weed so that they can get a bribe. Like you're not actually going to get in trouble for having weed, from what I understand.
Are there just
but-
random
I bet if it's
checkpoints
a lot of weed.
once you get
Yeah.
into Mexico?
But if you, yeah, totally. Yeah,
Like, how
along
many
the
checkpoints
highways.
did you go through?
Like 3 or 4.
Wow.
At least.
And how far did you travel while in Mexico? Like, Because you went down in Arizona and you went to the coast. How far is that?
Well, so we went down to the east side of the Sea of Cortez, and then we drove all the way around the Sea of Cortez. So that was a pretty long drive, and then we drove across the Baja Peninsula to the Pacific. So that drive altogether was probably like 600-700 miles.
One way?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think the whole trip I put in like over 2,000 miles on the Winnebago.
Cool.
That's not too bad.
So probably 1,000 of that was in Mexico.
Oh,
I'd imagine something like that.
that's cool.
Yeah, and you said you spent a week driving around Arizona. I mean,
Yeah, I mean driving through Arizona in general, like that's a huge western state, so it's a long drive. And in that thing, you're not going fast, so it feels a lot longer than it is.
how often was there a line of cars behind you?
Not too often. I mean, most of the roads with higher speed limits have more than one lane, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the only time I could think of was on the way to Ensenada from San Felipe.
We're
Was it a
going
little
up
windy?
a mountain
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Mountain pass. It's crazy.
Some serious mountains. We
What's
were
the
calling it,
landscape like? Is it like Arizona? Mountain, high desert?
it's kind of like
Some of
Southern
it,
California a little bit. I mean, it basically is California.
Yeah.
But like, it
Or
was really,
California's basically Mexico, however you look at it.
well, they call it Baja California, but you know, like it was kind of crazy mountains down there that I didn't expect. I don't think either of us expected how high we would get into the mountains.
Is it like
Um,
pine trees once you start climbing?
There were like pine trees that you could see on the tops,
Right.
of the, like, but we weren't
It was
there
still
yet.
mostly
So,
desert.
like, yeah,
It was pretty vegetative,
Yeah.
but yeah, it wasn't like pine trees. It was more like
grasses and shrubs. Yeah,
Shrubbery.
super beautiful though. Like I think we hit it after kind of a wetter year.
Uh-huh.
That's what they were saying in Arizona when I was going through. Everybody was like, "Oh, we've gotten so much moisture this year," but it was surprisingly green.
Was it humid?
It was really green.
Not really humid.
No.
There was like 2 days when it rained, and then it was
A
humid.
little humid.
And we were like, "Oh, this must be a rainy place." And then I looked it up. I was like, "How much do they get?" And it's like 12 inches of rain a year. So
Wow.
we were like,
So it's just that time of year.
we experienced like a quarter of their yearly rain, like when we were there.
Were you on acid then?
No, we only did acid that one time. I did acid 3 days in a row at the music festival, but other than that,
After the second day, you got to keep up in your dose or it doesn't really affect you.
oh man, yeah, I don't even know what was affecting me at that point.
So when
Been there.
so were the mountains on the way to Ensenada?
Yeah, totally. So like all down Baja, there's like
So that
mountains
painting
that go north to south. Yeah, so this painting was
That is
backwards,
it, yeah.
right?
like salt
Yeah.
flats. Yeah, so this was reversed because I
Nice.
didn't think about that when I was making the carving.
Yeah.
So when you print something, it like prints a
It's
stamp.
opposite, like
yeah.
a mirror.
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Mhm.
But yeah, the mountains on that part of the island were like, or of the peninsula were like stark, like black, no vegetation.
Like going through Nevada.
Yeah, like really intense, like rocky
Like
mountains.
volcanic shit?
Mhm.
I think so.
Black.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
See, I didn't look up the geology or anything, but that would make sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, we remember that guy that was running the
bar.
bar.
Yeah.
We were like, "Yeah, do you know why the mountains are so black?" And he's like, "Nah, but I know they're black as hell, man." We're like,
That
"Yep,
dude was he was
you're
from New
right."
Orleans and ran a rib place in Mexico.
You can extend it too. Yeah. Just saying. But yeah, volcanic type. That was my
You
borrowed stand because my fucking mail delivery guy fucked up my delivery. And he predated it a month. So he said it was like a month earlier before the day he couldn't drop it off because it was too big. So right when it got back in the post office, they sent it back to Amazon because they're like, this has been here for a month.
shit.
Yeah, I was pretty upset when I
Yeah, those
figured out what happened.
the male people
they-
around here are special.
They went through a bunch of people quitting or getting fired or something and had all these new people because I deal with the mail people all the time with fucking eBay
Oh, yeah.
because I have to schedule pickups and shit.
That makes sense
And
because
there was just like a couple weeks where everything was fucked up, and I was like, what is happening?
We talking UPS or
No,
just
the post office.
USPS.
USPS.
USPS? Yeah, we had some troubles with them.
Yeah, the
they
guy
just
at the desk was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Because I showed him, like, when I ordered it, and it was a month after the dude dated when he dropped it off. And he was like, I don't know what to tell you. The driver fucked up. Yeah.
I had an experience with them where I ordered something. It was pretty heavy. It was like for my garden or
It's
something.
like a bunch of LSD. Sorry.
That would be, if it was heavy, that would be way too much.
A lot of
LSD.
Bibles.
Too many to mail.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You like hiding shit in Bibles. Go on.
But yeah, it was like kind of a heavy item, and then I didn't get it, and Amazon said, like, you know, when somebody delivers something, they send you a text or email, and it's like, it's been delivered, and they did that. And
Yeah, I got
like,
that too.
I was like, what the fuck? I never got it, so I had to go to the post office, and the first thing the lady at the counter asked was like, oh, where do you live? She's like, oh, yeah, that guy, he didn't even put it in his truck. I was like, really?
That's
You
what I
know
wanna
that
deal
without
with.
even like, without even looking up my package, she knew that he just hadn't even put it in the truck because he
that's-
was too lazy.
That's your job,
was like,
right?
Dude.
That's your
That's what you
only
do.
job.
Like, why do you still have a job there? Oh yeah, Fred. You know he doesn't fucking put shit in his truck. Like, why does he still work there?
She's
just
she's
government
like,
jobs.
so do you have a pickup slip? And I was like, no, he didn't leave anything. She's like, oh man, again? I'm like, really? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, what?
During-
what is
He's a
his
government
job?
worker.
During
Yeah.
that week, they put a package that I ordered like next to my mailbox, and they usually drive up the driveway and put it on the porch like they're supposed to, but
It's
it was
right there.
It was that time where they were all fucked up, and it was raining for like 3 days in a row, and I didn't know it was down there because it was just it was too big to go into the mailbox, but it wasn't enough, and I didn't have a tracking number or anything, so they just left it there, and it was from Amazon. No, it wasn't from Amazon. I don't know what it was. It was a bunch of sugar that my girlfriend ordered. Baby mama. She ordered, and it was just soaked in like a rock because it had rained on it for 3
Oh,
days.
no.
And I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, the
What'd you do?
nothing. I just
Yeah.
bitched and moaned.
Just bought another.
I
thing
I
of
told
sugar?
the company, or I think Coel did because it was hers.
Yeah.
And they send a free one.
Nice. I still haven't done shit about the mic stand because it's like, you know, make a complaint, and then you click on it, and it's just like so much nonsense.
Brian don't have
It was-
time for that.
It's $12. You know, like I waited weeks. I went to the post office, spent 20 minutes waiting in line and talking to this motherfucker that was looking in the back most of the time, which he was doing his job, and I really appreciate. But after I put in an hour,
So-
fuck the $12.
So I'll throw in the plug for Jimmy's Music Supply here in town because
That guy's
Jimmy's
nice.
a cool ass dude.
Nice.
Do they have
and you
clamp-on mic stands like this?
You know, I'm sure he could order anything you want, and then he's dealing with the fucking post office people, and you don't have to. So.
Yeah, I just think it's not going to be $12 then. That's my only concern. Because he's a small town music shop owner.
Probably
I
not.
totally understand.
I don't
Yeah.
really know.
I'm also a broke podcaster who makes zero money off this and has to pay every month to make
That's
it
why
go on the
Amazon's
internet.
ruling the world.
I know, and they don't pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't Bezos pay taxes?
Because he has really good lawyers to find loopholes.
It's fucking horseshit.
Because we don't have Bernie Sanders for president yet.
Did you guys vote?
I did. You know what's
You
really
voted.
You know what's really sad is
Did you vote?
Nope.
Yeah, you're a soccer fan. Did you vote? Sorry.
Huh? I did vote.
you know what's really sad is there were 30,000 more Republicans that voted for Trump than Democrats voted, and like the Republicans didn't actually have to vote, so they just like literally came out to like mark the box that said Trump.
Yeah.
And there were more of them that came out than fucking Democrats. Which
Well,
is crazy to me.
it's their responsibility, you know, as citizens to vote.
Yeah.
And that's what voting is. However you feel is how you should vote. And that's the beauty of America. Whether
Yeah.
I'm super pumped on the current state of the, you know,
The system.
the White House and the whole system in general.
Both sides are bought and paid by the same donors. And that's why
Exactly.
they don't want Bernie in, and that's why everybody endorsed Biden and just dropped out because they don't want Bernie in there. because they're all being
'Cause he's
paid by
not-
the same fucking
Because
people.
he's not corporate. He's
Yeah.
like the first candidate in a long time that's not like supported by,
And
you know, other than,
nobody,
That's
like,
why he
fucking-
won't fucking win.
other than Ron Paul, who's never
Unfortunately.
gonna win, or like any of the libertarian candidates that have been around.
that's why
But
I'm just like, I get why my family likes Trump.
My dad called me the day before, or I called him the day before the primaries, and he answered the phone with, "Hey, you voting for Trump?" That was how he answered.
But I just like, this is your guy. This is who you think
The soccer fan. Yeah.
is for the working
My dad's
man.
gonna laugh at that. Sorry.
I don't get it. Maybe
I'll
we
do
should
this for everybody.
maybe we should have your dad in here to come tell us why.
Well, so there's an old saying, show me a young man who's not a Democrat and I'll show you a young man with no heart. Show me an old man who's not a Republican and I'll show you an old man with no smarts. But I don't know. My dad's worked hard his whole life. He was raised Republican. He's fucking
Well, that's the thing. They
redneck
think
roots.
they
It
think,
doesn't matter
They
who
think
the
that
person
Bernie
is
is going to come take half of their money, but nobody actually looks at his tax plan.
yeah,
And he doesn't take 52% until you make $10 million. And there's all these memes on Facebook going around saying
No, their Facebook marketing is
it's all and it's all bullshit.
It's on
And then they
point.
repost all this stuff that's not factually accurate, like saying that he's going to take 52% of people who make over $30,000.
yeah,
and
it's-
that is
it's such
not true.
bullshit.
It's gonna
such
stay the exact same bracket up until you start making over millions of dollars.
But that's the thing. The middle of the country.
But they
they're
think
getting their
that Bernie
news from
Sanders,
Facebook.
Bernie Sanders
That's what
is
the Republicans call him.
yeah.
Sandy Star.
They think he's gonna come. The tax is gonna trickle down onto the middle class, and everybody is gonna lose half their money. And it's socialism. And I saw something the other day that was like, we defeated socialism in World War II, and it's just like the Nationalist Socialist Party, but they weren't socialist.
My good friend Dodge shared multiple memes that were basically that, and he's a cop, which is weird. But just like, yeah, these people, stopped socialism. These people are voting for it, just over and over and over, just anti-Bernie shit.
It's just people
But he
that
served, so I
it really
respect
is
him.
a lot of people that don't know history and don't know, like, basically their head from their ass. In my fucking opinion,
I
But-
think it's people that see Facebook memes, and that's
The
facts
Russians
for
were our
them.
allies, and they were communist. And like the Japanese weren't socialist.
it doesn't even matter what. That's the whole thing. It's like we're in this thing now, and these people are trying to like make comparisons to things that are totally irrelevant. It doesn't make any comparison,
Yeah.
There was nobody in World War II that's like, oh, if you don't support us, we're not, you get free healthcare or whatever. It's not even the same kind of argument.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
don't know.
make any
World War
fucking
II
sense.
is kind of like the height of propaganda, right? Like from Hitler and us, and Germans, depicted as fucking guerrillas or whatever on propaganda posters, just posted everywhere. And this was way before the internet. Like, it's all just propaganda and trigger words. It's like
Yeah.
for everybody that will fall for it, they just put it out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that see that and they just take it as fact. I saw it. I read it. They consider that reading. They're like, I read that. That's got to be true. I don't know. People
Like,
that don't understand satire.
The Sunday funnies or
Yeah, or whatever. Propaganda.
propaganda.
Like the Russians, the Russian bots. That's actually the big part of the Russian bots, right? Is
I think
all the
we need
propaganda.
to update our system a bit
Yeah.
too. It's not 1776 anymore. Like
Yeah, Joe Rogan's joke about if Abraham Lincoln came back, or somebody that was on the fucking Declaration of Independence, and it's just like, you guys haven't updated this?
yeah.
We wrote this with fucking feathers that we had to dip in squid ink.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
it's the political rabbit hole. Could go
I
down.
hate it. I hate it so much, and I live very close and have to talk to a person
and I
very
just
often
like
that
hang out in the middle.
beats
and
my ears.
There's so many people just completely left or completely right, and nobody will like come together and actually talk about things and listen to other people's opinions, because their own opinions and views, they're so strong. They don't want to lose. They want to be on this team and win.
I know for a lot of people, there's like just the like one issue that they vote for.
Marijuana, guns,
like abortion, guns, and those aren't even issues that really are going to change no matter who you vote in. But it's like this principle thing where like,
yeah, but when laws get involved in some of those things, then it's just going to turn into drugs, where the only way to get them is to go through an illegal source, which is just going to cause crime.
Yeah.
It's
not a. There's nothing.
making
no
things
magic
legal
here.
is the best way to make shit safe.
But it's all things that are used by these candidates to get them votes, and then they never follow through on anything.
It's either they're
All it
going
is.
for the
It's
religious vote or the gay and black vote.
I mean, it's like
It's a
even like,
game. It's
if
just
you
a
look at
game that they
Obama,
play.
Like if you look at Obama, he said he was gonna, free everybody in Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay. He like
Guantanamo.
what Guantanamo Bay.
We all got
And that never happened, but that's just one of those issues that he used to get elected. But everybody does that.
Yeah, Mexico's not paying for Trump's wall.
No, and that's just one of those things that he's using this whole idea.
The wind knocked over a part of Trump's wall.
Didn't he say he was taxing China 11% or something?
And it's all it's doing is hurting American farmers, because Asia is one of the biggest importers of like soybeans and stuff coming from America, and it's just hurting American farmers is all it's doing.
Fucking up our relationships with other countries doesn't seem like a good idea. But we were here to talk about Mexico.
But so moral of the story is Mexican people are very nice. It's a really awesome country to visit. Everybody thinks that they're all just out to like steal your shit or be, crazy to Americans, and they're all just every Mexican that we met down there was super nice, including
every Mexican
my favorite
pretty
people
much I've ever met,
never met a Mexican,
especially from Mexico. I've met sketchy ass people from New Mexico.
Yeah,
who's never, their family's from Mexico, but
and there's sketchy people everywhere.
Right,
And
you
that's like
can find some sketchy people in Mexico if you go looking, but
yeah,
that's
I
what
feel
like people are like, oh, I'm not going to Mexico. The cartel. They're gonna
because
string
those
you
are
up.
the people they make TV shows
Right.
about.
Like they're only
and that make
they're only
news.
stringing up people who fucked the cartel. Like they're not stringing up random people. Maybe a few times, but
It's accidents happen.
Random people have got shot for sure.
For
There's
sure.
casualties.
for sure.
But if you're not like living on a Mormon commune like in Mexico and just hoarding money and women, you should be okay.
Mexico. I gotta pee.
Yeah, and the area that we were in totally is not known to be the most dangerous place.
No, that's a good call. Good call.
Do you wanna talk about Los Hits?
Yes.
Los Hits.
Los Hits.
I want to talk about anything Mexico. I hate politics. Go ahead.
Well, we met a band. You want to start off the story, because
yeah, we were like wandering around after we had our printmaking workshop one of the days, I think.
yeah,
And then we were kind of nearby this building where the printmaker guy said, "Oh, there's guys who rent that space just to like have a studio space for music," because he knew that we were musicians, the maestro of printmaking.
Adalberto.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Yeah, over there, those guys rent a space to play music." So we were walking by and we heard music and just kind of stopped in. These guys were like about our age, and super nice guys. And I just basically ended up being like, I saw that there's a drum set over there. Can I play that? Like, I haven't played the drum set.
Good way to make friends.
Well, and I was
Show
missing
'em
my
you got
drums.
skills.
They were cool too, because they were like, "Oh, you want to play some guitar?" To me,
Yeah, they like
Really?
brought
they
him a guitar.
Brought me a guitar.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Linked it up.
So you guys just got a jam?
We just got
Yeah,
a jam.
we
in.
jammed real quick, and they were like, "Oh man, you guys are good. Like you should come to our shows." So they started telling us about the shows they had the next few days, and
Did you go?
Yeah. Well, so we hadn't even planned on being in. It was wine country, and we'd planned on going to wine country that day, and then leaving the next day to go back to the States. But the day we were supposed to go back to the States, we drank too much wine. And so we're just like, fuck, we're just gonna stay here in wine country.
One in Mexico. Yeah.
One in Mexico. So another moral of the story is don't trust Google Maps in Mexico because it sucks. Because we ended up in some people's like random construction, like in their yard, in the back.
Bummer.
Yeah, it was
That's what you're
sketchy.
looking for.
It was weird. They were like shoveling. They're like, "What are you guys doing here?" So we like ended up making it to this like cool hotel that this band we knew was playing at that night. And it was kind of funny because when we walked in, they were just like weirded out to see us because they didn't expect to see us. So they're like,
And it was a very fancy hotel, and we were at the end of a trip in Mexico. We were not very fancy.
yeah, we probably smelled pretty bad.
I can see that.
We had
Yeah.
like a couple showers in before that.
Yeah, we just looked the part.
Yeah,
We looked grungy.
it's true. But yeah, we made it, and we got there to this hotel that this band was playing at, and I was kind of like, I don't know if they're not excited to see us, but it turns out I think they were just nervous about their show, because they were very nice, like after they set up and did their sound check.
Totally.
And I know that vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You got shit to do.
Yeah, Brian and I know that very well when you're like stressed out trying to get a show going.
Yeah, before comedy, if somebody tries to talk to me, I'm like, okay, cool, please fuck off, like, kinda,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Because I just don't have time to, like, I'm in my head so much that I'm not, like, trying to hear whatever you have to
Yeah.
say. After my set, let's talk, you know?
So yeah, we were there. It was
Yeah.
Valentine's night, and
Yeah.
they were playing like a Valentine's set, which was
You guys looked
kind of
okay for that.
It
Did
was
you guys
kind of
change?
funny
Yeah, we
because
changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I put on my shirt that's like this vintage dressy shirt, but it's like bright pink. Because I was like, fuck it, dude. Everybody probably thinks we're gay anyway, so I'm just gonna play the part.
Just two Americans living in a Winnebago.
Valentine's
Probably
Day.
soccer
And it's
fans, too.
Valentine's Day, you know. So I threw on this like bright pink shirt, like feeling fucking fly as hell, and
Yeah.
we ended up getting like a bunch of people dancing, and met this stand-up comedian down there actually,
Nice.
Rydoth.
Rydoth, who turned
Yeah.
into Britney Spears. He
Yeah.
turned into what like a 4-year-old girl acts like when she's acting like Britney Spears.
Yeah, when he was
He had face
dancing,
tattoos
he was
too,
Oh.
but he was like a little girl dancing on the dance floor. It was hilarious.
Well, it's easy to have confidence when everybody thinks you might murder him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this dude was probably like
Guess,
6'4", like buff as hell, and face tattoos, and then all of a sudden he's dancing like super flamboyantly, and just got the whole crowd going. And of course, I found out later that he's a stand-up comedian. I was like, that makes so much fucking sense. This dude gives no fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he was-
awesome.
He was cool as hell.
He salsa danced with like every person in that establishment.
Most
Yeah, I'm jealous.
mostly
Okay, salsa
middle-aged men seemed like his kind of thing.
dance. Good for him.
Every time someone would reject him, he'd look at them and then like turn away and then look at him again and then like lick his finger and like touch it to his ass. And like,
It's like a sassy dude.
he was getting really sassy.
That's awesome. I love
Yeah, he was righteous as
I
hell.
love a scary dude turns out to be gay and he's just all sassy.
He wasn't gay, is he?
What?
No.
And he totally was dating one of the girls, I think, that worked there. Like,
He was
that was the
just
vibe that I got.
He
but-
was ridiculous.
I just like to dance.
He just liked to
I
dance.
mean, he might swing both ways. We could say that much.
yeah, he might swing both ways.
Yeah, it's 2020.
Yeah, something about face tattoo and dancing with middle-aged men makes me feel like he's repressing something. Just like, yeah, I'm not gay, I'm big and scary. Then
the
some
biggest
good
mug of
music
beer.
comes on and he just can't help himself, dog. It's fucking id,
You
dog.
can see it in his eyes.
That's
He'd
what
go,
it seemed like.
Yeah.
Just hearing that story. And if I was there, I would have felt the same way, I'm guessing.
So funny.
He wasn't gay is what you both said, though.
He just tried Molly for the first time.
I get that.
Yeah, that
I don't
could've-
know.
I'll dance with the man.
I follow him on
Follow him
Instagram. He's pretty flamboyant on his Instagram posts. I
That's
dig
why he
it.
has the face tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He
He had to be tougher than all his friends because he was a little bit gay. Yeah.
He was super nice. He just like really
He
wanted
sounds
to,
like the coolest person you met.
Yeah.
He was one of the coolest people for sure. The dudes in the band were awesome.
Oh yeah, that sounds
And
good.
they were killing it. They played like a 5-hour set.
Really?
Yeah.
And you stayed for most of it?
Oh, we stayed the whole time.
Nice.
And it was pretty much all. I think it was all covers.
Yeah.
Their band normally does covers from Quentin Tarantino movies. It's like their thing.
Perfect
fucking
band
so
to run
cool.
into.
And
Yeah.
but they were like, we're playing
Sounds like
a
an
little
episode
more,
of Anthony Bourdain that
Yeah.
you would see, you know.
right?
Fucking Quentin Tarantino cover band in Mexico.
Yeah.
Did you guys eat cool food?
So much
Dude,
good
all
food.
the time, man.
Oh yeah, Evan called me one day. He's like, "I got a whole bag of fruits and vegetables for like $12." Just pumped.
Not even, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
pretty
seven.
pricey.
Oh,
It's
maybe
like
you said seven.
$7 for like we got like 6 avocados, a pineapple, some mangoes,
Oh yeah.
like carrots, squash, all kinds of shit, and it was like $7.
What was that
That's how I
place
feel
called?
every time I go to the Humane Society.
That was at the roadside
ball
stand.
The little town, right?
In the tiny little town, the Valle
Valle Trinidad.
Trinidad, yeah.
That place was cool.
You do speak beautiful Spanish.
I try and say it. I forget that I speak Spanish, and so when I remember, I go Valle de Trinidad, just to kind of fit
America.
in more. Yeah, America.
You look like you like broke away from the group in Mexico to go serenade women on the beach.
Yeah.
We did that actually.
Did you? With the guitar.
Yeah, we actually just walked. That was pretty funny, dude. That was so we were. It was a full moon, and we were playing. We were staying at this place
Oh,
called
yeah.
Kiki's.
call.
Kiki's
nailed it.
RV park, and it was full moon. We were like playing our guitar, and people were like slamming the doors. Like I felt like they were telling us to stop playing in the RV park. Yeah.
Yeah, they were not stoked that we were playing to the full moon in the RV park.
No.
So I was like, let's just walk down the
Lame.
beach.
Was it a bunch of white people?
Yeah, they're like
feel
nobody
like it
has
was-
a good bad time at Kiki's. And it was like I was like, oh god, this sucks. We're at Kiki's. But yeah, we decided to just walk down the beach and play the tunes, and Evan's got his like little travel cajon.
That's sick.
It's super cool. And then we saw that one group of people, and we're like, walk by them, and they were just.
We walked like a quarter mile down the beach, and we see this fire, and we're like, let's walk toward the fire. And like, maybe if these people seem cool, we'll like play some music for them.
Yeah.
And we walk up kind of playing music, and you could tell that they had been harassed by like the Mexicans that are trying to sell blankets and shit on the beach, because they totally thought we were people like that.
Were they
we couldn't-
Americans?
We couldn't see them at all,
they,
but
they were like Canadian, German, Swiss.
so white
like,
as fuck.
I
from
go
all over.
But cool.
what I said something like canción or like hola, can we play a song for you? And they go no.
we don't,
And we're
we
just
don't
like-
have any pesos.
And I'm just like,
Goddamn
and
hippies.
we're just like, and we just keep walking towards them. We're like, no, we just want to play a song for you. Like, come on, man.
No, we're American.
No, free song.
Free song. And they're like, oh, you don't want us to pay you? And we're like, no, we just want to play for you. Like, oh, and we got close and they could see us and they could see that. Like,
Yeah, you were just in the dark.
we were
and
like a
you said,
mariachi. Hola! It was funny because we literally walked over this like rocky outcropping, like across to a different beach with our instruments, and just find a like group of people.
Looked like you were
It was
hustled.
in the dark.
It was in the dark.
Just a silhouette.
Well, they couldn't see us at all. We were just coming out like way out of the dark.
And Julian sounded very Mexican.
Yeah,
He was just like,
I could tell. Yeah,
it was perfect.
It was like my Mexico voice.
I was dying because I saw like their reaction to him, and I was like, they think he's trying to sell him a fucking blanket.
No, thank you. No,
Because you
thank
get used
you.
to that. You get. They're like. I mean, some places they're like piranhas. They're just like.
Yeah.
Like
They just hear
attractive.
like a cajon and like a cring.
Hola.
They're like, no gracias, no gracias.
And we're just like under the sea.
So did you hang out with them?
We did. They gave us beers.
Nice.
We fucking,
Yeah, we
were
played
like-
songs.
I'm so glad you're not Mexican.
they were like, oh my God.
I'm so tired of faking being nice.
No, they were like the people more like us. We should have been camped with them because they were like living
Yeah.
out of a Sprinter van, and a couple of them were living in the back of a Subaru, and they're on like 3-month-long road trips and shit.
Right.
And we're in like the fancy RV park with people that just like
So they didn't have pesos.
The rich people.
the people that park a massive RV and live there for the winter, you know.
What do
But,
they call
Over
the dog?
Kiki's.
The dog that peed on me. The dog peed on me on the beach.
Oh man, what
sitting
was his
down.
name?
I could tell you're a soccer fan.
Hornitos.
Hornitos, because he humps all the other dogs.
Yeah, the alpha. How
Wait,
big was this dog?
it was not that big.
Yeah, it sounds like a small dog move.
There aren't that many big dogs that are strays down there. They're all kind of scraggly.
Yeah.
Right, not a lot of food, like humans of the 1900s.
Yeah, I mean some of them are like doing pretty well, I think.
Well, those ones belonged to people. They weren't just like street dogs.
Yeah, they had collars.
It's like rolling around Kiki's,
Yep.
getting that food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
He
the
just
crows at Purgatory.
There's some cute
Fat
fucking
crows.
strays down there. None of them are really aggressive either, because they're used to just begging for their livelihood.
Like the
so-
crows at Purgatory.
You said that earlier, dude. I'm like crows and Purgatory.
Crows.
I've never seen the crows there, but I haven't been to Purgatory.
ravens,
Eating all the
maybe?
lifties' food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're just
ravens, maybe. Yeah.
yeah, whatever. They're just
Look-
there's fucking people there all the time that don't give a fuck about their food, so they leave it outside so the birds eat. But they're like used to being around you. Like they'll land
Yeah.
on your chairlift sometimes if you have like a fry, you know.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's dope. We had this one that lived at the top of Lift 8 when me and Evan started working there, and you'd just put like a handful of trail mix on the handrail outside. You'd just come and chill.
What was his
Get the
name
trail
again?
mix. Henry?
Henry. Yeah, Henry the Raven.
Henry.
And he had his harem of
Yeah.
little lady
Just little
ravens
bitches
around.
flying around all the time.
Yeah.
They were easier to
'Cause
catch. You had
he's
to
like an
earn
old
Henry's
dude.
trust. Yeah. You had to work at the top of Lift 8 for a minute.
He'd
Yeah.
been there for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, there was stickers and shit.
Yeah, he'd been there for like
Shit.
10, 12 years or something.
Wow.
So where was this this beach adventure? Kiki's and Ensenada?
That was in San Felipe.
San
So
Felipe.
that was on the west coast of the Sea of Cortez.
Oh, okay.
We stayed there for 2 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we the first night we actually just parked the RV like on the strip with all the bars,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, I kind of want to party tonight, and this guy that we met, this really nice musician guy, was like, oh, they won't fuck with you if you just like sleep right here.
It's good to have people like that.
Yeah.
Meet them. And
Totally.
the fact that you guys have like musical talent helped, I bet, a lot with people's impression of you.
You know, just
like
being
the band
outgoing.
probably wouldn't have been cool with you if you guys would have like got on the drums and the guitar. It just sucked, you know.
Probably.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys were like legit musicians, they're like, oh, one of us, you know. Like you got to earn that kind of respect, and that helped with the fucking Canadian folks probably. The fact that you were actually playing a good song, you know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
weren't just the asshole with the guitar, the fucking strap-on drum.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
serenaded the fuck out of those guys.
Yeah, we did.
I can only imagine. I've heard you guys play music. You've serenaded me many times.
We'll come back later tonight.
So,
down.
So the first night in San Felipe, we went to the bar that was like right next to the RV. What was the crocodile bar?
Rockodile
The
bar.
Rockodile.
Classic.
Kind of bar that had like signs as you entered the town for like 10 miles.
Right.
It's hyped.
The hype bar.
It's the Crocodile.
It's the Rockodile.
They had like a video screen out front of the bar with like people dancing and having fun.
Was it actually what was going on inside, or was it a loop?
Well,
It was a loop.
Yeah.
It was
It's
loud
a
as
bummer.
shit. Or wait, that was another. I don't know if it was another bar. It was a long night, but we went to a bar with pool tables, and there were a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Mexicans
Rockodile
having
had pool
fun.
tables. Rockodile had pool tables and out backcountry 4x4 truck driving on the TVs at all times. That was like
Yeah,
their
that was pretty
thing.
cool.
I'm into that.
Yeah, it was pretty
the
cool.
Baja trucks for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's probably where they get a lot of their business, right? Is it close to Baja?
Yeah, what is
It
in
is
Baja?
Baja.
Oh,
yeah.
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 Okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know my geography.
This place was in between Puerto Penasco and Ensenada.
Okay.
So it's kind of like our in-between point.
Right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes 100% sense then. That's their demographic.
Yeah.
Baja
So-
and fucking pool.
So we rolled
America.
in and we played.
Mexico.
I was like, oh, there's pool tables, and one of them was like, you know, like the maybe open situation. They had just finished a game, and I was like, oh man, are you guys playing or whatever? Like, you know, my Spanish is horrible, so I was trying to learn the whole time, but
Makes sense.
I was getting better. But yeah, this guy came up to me. He's like, you and me, you want to play me? And I was like, oh fuck, this guy's serious about pool. All right, I'll play you. And we rack him up, and I fucking kicked his ass twice. Like
Was he hustling you?
No, like I was on fire for like 2 rounds before I started drinking.
Huh.
And so
I've seen that.
I
Yeah.
killed him twice, and then I started drinking more, and I became this guy's like best friend for the night. He was like had his arm around me, and he's like buying me drinks, and Julian's like, dude, the music is way too fucking loud in here, and just like took off. And I was like, I'm gonna like hang out with this guy, And so then all of his friends started playing me and just like killing me in pool. Like I didn't win any more games, that's for sure. But they all had to like prove that they could beat me. So even though I like lost a game, like the next guy would come up, and instead of playing the winner, he'd like want to play me again. And so I kept just like
You're just getting
losing.
drunker and drunker.
Yeah. And that was when I made the decision to drink a drink this guy bought me, and I didn't think about the ice. And so the next day my stomach was a little rough for sure.
Oh, the water, you think?
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink the ice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was like one day, and then I was over it, and stomach was all good.
Got
But
off
yeah.
pretty easy.
It was a pretty fun night. That guy was like, let me know if you're ever in town again, basically. Like, gave me his number and Facebook info and all
Sick.
that. Like, let's play pool again.
You
I
guys been
left
chatting
because
it up?
his friend got weird when I didn't do cocaine with him.
What
I was like,
the fuck, man?
yeah, the guy was like, he's like, bathroom? And I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, yeah? Pointed at his nose. I was like, nah, dude, I'm good, man. And he's like, and just like started like kind of twitching like that and inhaling like really heavily. And I was just like, dude, I think I'm going to go now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
didn't
loud.
know-
I probably would have done it. Yeah.
I didn't know that it.
Yeah,
I didn't-
Brian would have got honey dicked. He probably would have got kidnapped in there.
Nah.
I wasn't offered.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you're
had
too
no
busy.
idea.
Too busy playing pool with everybody.
Too busy getting my ass kicked. I might have done better if I knew about that shit.
I'm
You
sober
killed, though.
again.
I remember I was pretty stoked on you though, because you were
Those
killing
first
it.
couple games, I fucking ruled for sure.
Yeah, Evan was just like, I think we're playing for money, but I'm not sure.
I really did. I thought that he was trying to bet me or something, but then I kicked his ass. So then I really didn't know, because he wasn't gonna say anything about it after that.
Right.
Good call.
It's like, we're not playing for money anymore. That was never a thing.
Yeah, funny times, man. It was a good time.
Yeah.
All around good trip.
You're thinking about buying land in Mexico?
Oh, it definitely started like crossing my mind when I was down there. I was like, I wonder how much this shit costs. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of expatriates. There's a lot of people that move down there because it's cheap and because you get a lot, and everybody's like super chill down there. So it's not, I don't know. It's not like up here. I think you could probably get into a pretty cool situation pretty easily, as long as you had somebody watching your place when you weren't there. Different things like that. But yeah, I found out there's like a 99-year lease. So if you buy property in Mexico, you're not actually buying it. You're leasing it for 99 years from the government.
Right.
I think if you become a citizen, then you can go through some kind of paperwork to actually own it.
Interesting.
But they don't. It's like their way of protecting their country from people just buying it all,
For sure.
which is smart,
China.
Yeah, totally. But like literally, you can buy like a beachfront property with a house for like $100,000 in a lot of these places.
That's
and
cool.
like a pretty sweet house. So yeah, it's definitely crossed my mind. I'm like, shit, be pretty cool investment. And if
Just
I could
Airbnb it, have somebody watch it.
If I could have it
Sounds
like
like-
kind of pay for itself and just
Yeah.
end up being like a free place, like why not?
That's what I'm trying to do in Houston, so I can go hang out with my mom
Nice.
and then just rent it out when I'm not there.
Yeah, and you could probably make money in a place like that
For
if you're
sure.
smart about it. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, totally.
everything's pretty cheap compared to Durango. It's amazing the prices for a little fucking shack that you get here in Durango.
Yeah, Phoenix is ridiculously affordable.
You just cross the border into New Mexico and it goes like average $500,000 here and then $200,000 there. So Just like it's crazy.
Yeah,
the
it's
difference.
pretty
It's just
wild.
too. It's so expensive here.
Yeah.
It's not as expensive as like Telluride.
Well, and
But-
it's not as expensive as a big city would be, but like we don't have the jobs that big cities have, so
Exactly.
that's where that's
Yeah.
the clincher. It's like if you move to New York, you'd be paying 4 times as much
Right,
for a
but
place, but
there's-
there's jobs that pay 4 times. as
And
much.
there's more places outside of New York that you can live at. that's
right, like
more
suburbs,
reasonable.
Yeah,
That's why people have to fucking drive 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day.
yeah. Fuck
Houston's
that.
crazy.
Fuck that shit.
My
Do you have family
stepdad.
in Houston?
Yeah, my stepdad and my mom live there, and he works in the city, but they found this little suburb that's like 10 minutes away from downtown,
Yeah.
and so he's only on the interstate for 10, 15 minutes, and then he's right at home. And he said
Lucky.
that some of his coworkers live like way out in the suburbs where they can have big, nice houses with yards and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they drive 3-4 hours a day
Fuck.
just driving. You're just in your car, bumper to bumper, just like 6-7 lanes, just full of cars. It's crazy.
Get a big yard though.
Yeah.
That's what you get, a big giant yard. And
I'm from Texas, so
Yep.
Yeah, familiar with the Houston suburbs.
And so yeah, where they live, it's all just little townhouses and stuff, and it's perfect for them because they just have a little dog and a cat, and it's not a
Right.
big deal.
And
It's
you're not
cool
in
around there.
Houston.
Yeah, you're not right downtown,
Yeah.
but you can still see Houston from where you're at. 15 minutes, you're downtown. It's right on the Buffalo Bayou River that runs through Houston. It's kind of like a park all the way through. It's like a river trail,
Okay.
and then it goes down into Houston. They live basically right next to that. So you can walk across one of the big highways and drop down and actually walk all the way down to Houston and be downtown. And it's probably a 5 or 6 mile walk.
I really like Galveston,
Yeah,
South Padre even.
for sure. It's way cooler there.
Yeah.
Houston's cool. It's got its benefits, but I just don't like big city, like giant city like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And the what was that?
It's peacock fucking season, Phil.
That's
Fucking
peacocks.
dinosaurs, dude.
That makes sense.
Oh, look at
I
Shiva.
was like, who the fuck's making that noise?
Well, it's getting warm. Peacocks are out there trying to
I
fuck.
know it's springtime.
It's about to get weird. My neighbor has a bunch of peacocks. They make noise
Lots
Judy?
of birds lately.
every morning, dude.
I think I did meet you over at Judy's.
Maybe.
Were
Were you playing music?
It was when Claire was over there.
Yeah, with Claire.
Yeah. But I don't think you remember, but I remember saying what's up, and you just didn't even look at me.
Was it at Judy's?
It was at Judy's.
I was just trying to get out of there, man.
I could tell.
It wasn't. Yeah,
I
nothing
did-
personal.
I didn't feel like I just felt like you had a job to do, and you were like,
No, I
in
was.
and out.
I was just really trying to get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those days, probably.
Yeah.
Where I didn't want to be there, but I had to be there, and there just happened to be people to meet. You know what I mean? Just God damn it.
Well, I
Yeah.
connected the dots a while after I met you more officially, probably over at the house. I was like, oh shit, I met Brian at Judy's a long time ago.
Right. Yeah, I remember now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I forever think Brian is an asshole. Because he didn't say hi to me.
Sorry, bud.
Some people.
You didn't.
Some people
It
forever
seemed
think
more like
that.
you just you didn't really want to be there.
Yeah,
So-
his
It was the whole situation.
tone and aura just if he doesn't want to be talked to, it definitely shows.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's good.
And
That's
I
probably
felt
good.
like I didn't want to mess with you. You're
Yeah.
just like I
I-
just did my thing, and Judy was like, "Oh, come meet Brian." And I'm just like, "No, that's a bad impression." I like Judy, but I don't work for him.
She's
And
a
so,
crazy old lady.
yeah, but that was fun.
Yeah, that was a long summer. No mas.
Well,
No.
shoot, boys. I got a band practice I got to get to here shortly.
5:30.
Yeah, we started
I,
late
Wrap this.
for sure, but we've also gone over what I told Evan we were gonna do.
Oh,
But
it's all good.
It wasn't intentional.
I wanted to throw in a plug. My band is playing March 21st at 11th Street Station. So
Fuck
if
yeah.
you guys have a chance to come see us, we're Born of the Sage.
Yeah.
And it's indie rock, blues kind of feel to it. So
Sweet.
Do you have any music online or places where people could find it?
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and we've got a YouTube video link on there. But
Born
yeah,
of the Sage?
Yeah.
Nice.
If you look it up on YouTube right now, we gotta re-upload it because we just changed our band name, but we'll do that soon. But yeah, check us out at 11th Street Station. It's gonna be fun.
Fuck yeah.
Also, shout out to Old Toby,
Old Toby.
which is a band we made up in the past couple months.
Yeah, we gotta get to work on Old Toby.
Yeah,
Old Toby.
Yeah,
Old
that's
Toby.
Julian in my group, mostly Julian.
Nice.
You could
Nah.
almost say Julian is Toby.
We're really 50-50 for sure.
Is that like Pink
I'm-
Floyd?
Yeah.
Old Toby.
Old Toby.
You guys got anything else you want to promote?
Screen printing. If anyone wants any screen printed goods,
Where can they hit you up at?
notoriousprint.com
Word.
is my website.
Cool.
And if you want to check out more of what Julian can do, I've had him printing some of my artwork and designs onto T-shirts. And if you look up Art of Layers on Instagram, I'm just kind of getting that going. I've got a few designs and just taking advantage of knowing Julian and having screen printer at my fingertips. So getting some of my art on some T-shirts.
Nice. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll put all that in the description.
Sweet.
That's kind of
Yeah.
what I was asking, so I can hear the recording and remember all of it. And the other people can find it. Phil, you want to tell them where to find us?
Find us at GLW_podcast on Instagram, Greenlight Weekend on YouTube, and greenlightweekend@gmail.com.
Goddamn right. We're looking for sponsorship. All of us. Every single one of us.
Yeah.
If you want to support
you wanna
any of us,
Support any of us, pay us to do stuff.
yeah, hit
It'd
us
be
up.
fun.
And we
Go to Birds.
multi-talented. Yeah, go to Birds in Durango. Love
eat some
that place.
chicken.
Yeah. Phil's having a baby on 420.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you guys for coming
Yeah.
in.
420.
Yes.
420.
Viva la Mexico. And I love you guys. Peace.
Yeah. Much love.
Let me tell you something real quick. Flipping through the pages of a notebook, dope hooks, old school shit, get your dome shook, no luck. For you, can you feel what I'm saying? Rhyme slanging, beat banging from the pavement to the backwoods. Put your hands down if you're trying to act hood. I don't care about your steez or how you be swagging. Punks moving backwards, I'm sitting back laughing. Like what happened to the real? I be with that hip hop plus a hot meal, saying this is why you ain't, this is why you ain't, this is why you never will be great. Man, come on, for goodness sake, never have to brag or boast. My verses do the walking and you talking like a joke. Tatted on your throat, well I think your ink's whack. I'm shitting on you bitches, yeah, this my stink rap. Rock a bright pink cap and some lime green pants. Smack your mama's ass, what you think about that? Yo, I'ma bring it back with a cool 32. Hustle lava lyrics dropping right on top your crew. It's going to erupt like it's about to blow. I don't give a fuck, y'all already know. I'm running for my life, that's right, I'm motivated. Won't stop till I'm on top, elevated. You're gonna do it, son. My mama be telling me, stay away from drugs and don't be catching felonies. Nah, never. Just for the record, ma, I'd rather sell a record. And you know that I've always loved being under pressure. Yeah, get that money talking, saying be patient. Big money, honey, opportunity creating. It's so basic, bring it to your faces. Ain't no way I'll ever let nobody tell me that I ain't sick. Not a challenge that I couldn't hang with. Put your test to rest, guarantee you I will ace it. Haters still hating, people still painting. Wanna hear this shit bang on every block and every base. Speaking of the devil, get up on my level. We on the base in trouble, we gon' do this shit forever. And them ponies need to step up, I don't think that they could catch up. We mash them like tomatoes, good on pretty much whatever. Honestly, I'm in no need of any extra flavor. Any time of day I get poppin' like bacon. What you thinking? We munchin' every beat. Got the bounce down version playing in the back seat. Let me put it this way, loving this life. Get up on stage, drum bass, one mic every night. New place, same name on the dough. You rushing to the show, fighting for the front row. Yo, I don't give a hoe, anything too nice. Nintendo 6-4, got the game up in a vice. That's right, you bitch. You ain't playing like this, that's a bet. And I'm betting that I strike rich, pot of gold type shit. I'm 0.5 Irish, dark brown iris and long eyelashes. Man, I'm so damn handsome. Young buck Spaniard, girls hanging around my neck like backstage lanyards. Faster and faster, I'm killing all of them bastards. But thinking trip ain't the master, just go lie down in the pasture. Call up your pastor and ask him what's going to happen after. Swing, swing, batter, batter, you cannot defeat my chatter, get it? Hey, batter, batter, tell me why you playing Little League. If you still can't see, then maybe you should be climbing trees. I'm number one, came straight out of 91, having fun, spitting like guns. Alright, I'm done.